I've been working with this molecule since 1991. And like Patty said, they thought it would be toxic. They put it in a toxicity study. Instead of being toxic, the test subjects lived 90% longer than the control group.
Hey, Inspired Tribe, my fellow freedom lovers. It's John Nolan here. Thank you so much for tuning in to another inspired conversation. By now, these two friends of ours don't need a long introduction. They are leading one of the great companies out there today that are supporting and helping people to be the best possible version of themselves, be healthy, be energized, be vital. Thank you so much for joining us again today, Miss Patty Greer and Mr. Chris Burris from
Hello,
C60
John.
Evo.
Hey
It's an honor.
there.
Oh, it's always such a pleasure to have you both. How are you doing?
Cooking with gas, world is blowing up everywhere and nextdoor.com, all I saw was yikes as a title and I just went, I gotta go get ready for my show.
Well, I can relate to that. We're in Middle Tennessee and not too far from here. The world has literally gone into apocalypse mode. Thankfully, we hear lots of our friends that are shook up and affected but alive, which we're thankful for with all the floods and the craziness and the weather event. How are you doing, Chris? Down in Texas?
I
You're
am
in
in
Texas, I
Texas. Yeah,
assume.
I actually just got back from. I've been going to a lot more health conferences, so it's exciting to get around and be focused with people about health, and then to come back here and talk with you and your audience about health.
Yeah, and this is, for us, this is such an honor to be able to do that. As I've told you guys, for Christine and I, the our greatest intention is to inspire people on all levels with the best of the best, right? So that's why we only partner with the best of the best. And I just want to share with you before we go into anything else, my friends. I just want to share a few beautiful reviews that you probably have seen or have not seen, but just for our audience of people that are using your great products. And I'm going to put on my glasses here, although my eyes are getting better and better. I started giving C60 to my older dogs, and this is, of course, ESS 60. This is the human grade version. We just have to make sure. And the difference is profound. Their eyes appear less cloudy. They get up and go much quicker. They're now more playful, and they get excited like puppies again. Absolutely amazed. I've always said this about our dog. I can only second that comment. 14 years old, still going strong. Every day, every day he gets his beautiful little dropper full of C60 Evo. A huge shout out C60 Evo for quick responses to my questions and for keeping this 70-year-old active with much less joint pain. I think, what a
Right.
blessing that is. It immediately helped me sleep, and my dreams were more vivid. It seems to help with my asthma too, which is incredible for people who have lived with that condition. What a relief that can be. This product has been a great help with my fatigue. I used to nap 2 times every day. Now I nap only the odd afternoon. I've been taking C60 Evo oil for 2 years. And on and goes. By the way, I think one of these is from our mutual friend, Ann Vandersteel. My mind is getting sharper by the minute, and my skin has gone backwards in time. Speechless. I'm blown away how much I love this product. It's just always, I love reading reviews. I love when people are helped. How's that for you guys? You're
Oh,
doing this every day. It must be kind of very
it's so
So
gratifying to
let
well,
me
read
I
that.
read
one share.
every comment and testimonial.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let me share, right? I'll do the kind of scientific cleanup. Those were some testimonials. We like to share one that the FDA has not evaluated our product. It is not intended to treat, diagnose, cure, or prevent any disease. And we love to share testimonials. We just want people to understand that we're not saying this is going to happen for them. Better to assume it's not. Dig into the research and decide if this is something that you want to take for yourself. And since I stole the mic from Patty, I'll keep it for just a second. You mentioned naps. One of those testimonials mentioned naps. I talk about that all the time. Before I started taking this formula on a regular basis, I used to take 2 naps before noon on Saturdays and Sundays. Of course, only if we were at home. If we were out, I didn't have to take a nap. I didn't sleep in the car or whatever. But what that would look like is we'd wake up. I've got twins. When they were small and could watch TV, they would sit on top of me and watch TV, and I would take my first nap in the morning. And then we would go down for breakfast, come back, resume the position, and I would take my second nap. When I started taking this, like, they were still young at the time. They're 14 now. We would get into that same position to watch TV, and then I would like, well, I'm just not sleepy, so I'm going to get up and do stuff. And so, yeah, I absolutely, that absolutely resonates with me.
Well, same here, by the way. I love naps also for the creativity, but only when I really need them, and I recently haven't really felt the need for that. And I have my. Why don't we do this here before we go further into the reviews, Miss Patty? I think we
Well,
should
let
do
me
this
grab
here.
avocado just so we
Um,
have all three. I love all flavors.
yeah, and this is the only time I raise a shot glass is with
This,
you guys and
this
with
is
this
such an
product.
amazing, effortless way to get energy all day. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, you guys.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm recently I've switched over from more to olive oil to the MCT oil, and I'm just enjoying this
Right?
really
Do you
right
put it
now.
in your morning coffee or tea?
No, I don't. I'm very Puritan with my coffee. It's very pure, so I can't do anything else in it. But I do it. I love it pure even more. Like this is what I do. I do
You
it
don't need
without anything.
anything. My coffee is a party. It's kind of like a dance party in a mug. So I've got all kinds of stuff topped with the MCT every single morning. And it's because I have to pretty much crawl to the kitchen, even though I sleep really deep. I sleep really long lately. And I get up just briefly and then I'm gone again. So the Evo has actually even helped me sleep deeper. And I read comments and testimonials. That's what I was saying when you started with those beautiful comments and testimonials. I take a lot of time doing that because I reply, because constantly people are asking questions that it's easy for us to answer. But I think most people don't realize how effortless it is to be taking something that's this effective. And it won the Nobel Prize in 1996. It won a longevity toxicity test. It received the longest longevity test results in history on lab animals, and it delivered 90% longer lifespan. So the molecule made in my partner's lab, we're the only lab in the world that's been making it that long. And even though he looks like a kid, he's 99.
107, Chris.
I do age him, but I mean,
But
seriously, most every show he makes me do the talking about the product so he can model what it's like to put the face serum on and activate in the palm.
I'm ready, by the way. I don't know are you going to get to that now? I don't know what's going on.
But I mean, he was a wrinkled
well,
mess when I met him, and look at him now.
but Chris, for you, I mean, you're one of the people. You're one of the original people to discover and improve and create this product and then turn it into a human consumer and beneficial product for humans, which it was used for industrial purposes. And then you created C60 Evo, and this is slowly making its way all over the world, and people are discovering this, using this. I mean, to be on the forefront of this, it must feel great, to know that you can help so many people's lives.
Absolutely. So I am the geeky scientist with the lab coat who's in front of you. Sharing science and talking science, I absolutely love it. And then coming onto a show where I've got to kind of make sure that the science is understandable for people who aren't scientists. That's a challenge, right? I enjoy that. And then you turn around and people decide to try the product, and you look at the testimonials that you just got, and I can't be like more happy about what I get to do on a daily basis, right? Because it's not just, okay, I make a living, that's amazing. I get to be a geeky scientist, that's amazing. I get to help other people, and other people take a product. Maybe the story in my own mind would be better if I were some sort of kind of health genius and I went back in the lab and I produced this health genius supplement and then I brought it to the world and it actually worked, right? Like that's a really cool story. You just have to remove the health genius out of that story. I've been working with the molecule, and I'm holding up a model of the molecule. Again, we call it ESS60 when it's for human consumption. I've been working with this molecule since 1991. And like Patty said, they thought it would be toxic. They put it in a toxicity study. Instead of being toxic, the test subjects lived 90% longer than the control group. So I get to like dissect that research, understand that research, figure out how to apply that research to humans, and then put it out there for people to try. And then I have to tell you, for the first 18 months when we really brought this to the market, we were a smaller company. I was answering almost every phone call, and I just got this amazing testimonial after amazing testimonial. And there was the scientific part of me. We're kind of trained, you just ignore anecdotes. The reality is that's where all science comes from. Like you put together a scientific study based on anecdotes. That's where the scientific process starts. And when I was getting these testimonials, like if it was coming from you, John, I was like, I believe you, like you're a human telling me, I 100% believe you, but as a scientist, I don't know what to do with it. And I don't know if I'm going to get another one like it tomorrow, or am I going to get the opposite or whatever. It took about 18 months of just back to back to back, head to toe testimonials where like, you know what, this is something that I just can't push off, right? I can't try and dampen down the impact of these anecdotes. They're real. And I've just got to keep pushing to get this to more people. So yes, I'm extremely blessed to be able to do what I do.
I put up just a few of the many like five-star reviews that I saw and read. I didn't put up one that I saw a few weeks ago, and it's I should have probably, because that person said, I've been using the C60 Evo. It hasn't really done all that much for me, other than I noticed that I used to have these daily headaches and they seem to be gone, and that's why I kind of keep using it. I just go, oh, so you used to have a debilitating daily pain that's not there anymore, but it hasn't done much for you. And I'm like, if that's the worst of what it can do to people, then you're really you're really onto something. What I have also noticed, and I've said this before because it's improving, and I notice it really when I'm driving because the distances are there, my eyesight. Like my eyesight is just point after point. I also not too long ago I did another test, and it has basically what the doctor said. Well, this is weird because it hasn't gone any worse, and actually I think the numbers would have actually been better. Their system just doesn't
It
function
doesn't
like
know how to
that.
go in reverse.
They don't go into improvement. Yeah, they only compute reverse. So that's been a huge one for me. That's one that I really appreciate. And I notice it as, really during driving. And that's something that I read other people have too. So can you explain why? Or what's happening to my eyes?
Okay. So we can dig into a couple things. Before I jump there, I just want to add another kind of testimonial to wrap out this. I haven't really noticed anything because I think it's very interesting. It does happen to us quite a bit, and I think because what's happening is so much bigger than they think what it was going to be, that they're like, nah, it can't be that. Right? Like there's no way it can be that. So we had this guy who was in our office. We actually, people can pick up product from our office, but we don't have, any storefront or anything. This guy was in the office. He was purchasing his third time, right? Like Cassandra, who was managing it, let me know she was purchasing the third time, and we were running some sort of special on 3 bottles, and he was buying 3 whole bottles on his third purchase. And I was like, this guy is going to have an amazing testimonial. And so I asked him, and he was kind of very sad to share with me, Chris, I haven't really noticed anything. And there's an awkward moment of silence, and then he's like, but does it help your knuckles, right? And we kind of know what he was talking about. And it was like, yeah, we've got some testimonials about that. And he goes, oh, well, it has definitely helped that. And then I used to have this click, click, click in my knee, and that's gone away. And actually tomorrow I'm going jogging. This is the third time I'm going jogging. I haven't jogged in years. And I was like, wow, like crazy that you haven't noticed anything. And the final thing, because I think this goes to like mental, physical, and emotional well-being, he says, Chris, I have to share with you, I have less stress at work. Let me be very clear. It's the same work. It's the same people. It's the same stress. I just experience less stress at work. So I think that's, that is, we get that regularly.
So it's just that, right? I mean, just those few little things but this is so human of us. We notice when we're not well, but we don't really appreciate and notice when we're well. But hey, I think there are worse problems to fight for you guys with than people being too well. That's actually a good problem to have when they're using C60 Evo. They're getting so well, they're not even noticing it. That's beautiful. Um, yeah, I was just gonna ask you because you said to me, for me, the world's going mad, and I'm paying attention, and I'm a researcher, and that's what I used to do every day in the UFO field, in the crop circle field. So there's where my mind is kind of wired. So I'm seeing all this. How do you stay? And I do this too. So how do you stay centered and balanced, right? How do you do that? And Patty, is it one of those things that really helps me do that is the C60 Evo. So do you notice that the emotional stress sort of is easier to cope with too?
Absolutely. And for me, not to go postal at all with what I'm seeing, what I'm hearing. I drove to Boulder, Colorado yesterday, the Republic, and did great and escaped unscathed. But what I want to say is that while I was in Boulder, I ran into a lady who I used to own a fourth of this incredible historic castle downtown Boulder, Colorado, 1880s. It was so cool. And this old lady was up on the roof. She wasn't old, 10 years older than me. But I bumped into her yesterday in a store. And I looked at her and I never forget her face. So I said, "Oh my God, hi." And she looks at me and I said, "Patty." And she goes, "Oh my God," because so she said, "You haven't lost your swagger. Girl, the way you walk." And I went, "Haven't lost my swagger." Well, guess what I just did? I just got 2 hip replacements in the last year, 8 months. And she was, so greatest compliment is that Patty still got her swagger. I mean, I was like, "Wait, what?" I just loved it.
I saw you dance. I saw you dance once before we hit the record button. I tried, by the way, friends, I tried to get her to do it on camera. We might still be negotiating that, but she was dancing and her hips were moving, and you would never have guessed that these are not the original hips. Just saying. I mean, there's no, there's swagger.
She's
There's
back.
swagger for
Cat
sure.
is back. And I think that when you lose the ability to do things you're used to, your vision, your hearing, it makes you more grateful moving forward when you figure out a miracle to get it back. And she's just looking at me and she looked fabulous. I wish I could take credit for her. I said, "How old are you now if I'm my age?" 71. And she said, 81. And I said, "You still climb those stairs to the castle?" I mean, because she's like up 4 outdoor flights of stairs. "Oh, yeah, girl, keeps me, And so, again, I wish I could take credit, but I did hand her my card and say, "I wish I had a sample in my purse, but I don't." And she just said, "How did you do it?" So I said, "Evo," because as I look back at these 2 surgeries, I did a show on day 5 after surgery 1. Like, it's inexcusable that I got back to work that quick, other than the stuff is really effective for my brain. Now, Chris reminds me, don't say that it'll work for other people's brains because it is probably only mine. Got to keep the other people happy that are listening, but or transcribing. On the other hand, what a miracle! What a coincidence! And now I'm learning how to kind of say facetiously, this stuff saved my life. And with the interesting delays that are going to be happening at the ports for billions of dollars a week, I think that people would be doing themselves a favor to keep water around, keep extra fruit around. You get a big damn bottle of Evo. 32-ounce olive oil, super strong, little ivermectin, little HCQ, hydroxychloroquine. I mean, when I realized that there was a fire here a month ago and I had to evacuate, I'm like, "Oh God, water, food, some clothing, Evo." And I got all the way to the post office, looked at the mountain on fire, and I went, "Shoot, I forgot the new body cream." And I literally looked at the fire, ran my pendulum at the post office in my car, and ran back for my body cream. So something's wrong with me that I only use these products, but something's right with me because I'm living in frequency healing right now, where I feel. And when we talked about some people don't even notice that, "Oh my God, that doesn't hurt anymore." We're seeing a lot of that. because I ask, because Chris will ask, so you noticing any benefits? He's trying to get me to be more appropriate by not asking. Let them volunteer. Oh my God. So it's hard because I'm all wound up. I just did another shot. Uh,
Appropriate is overrated.
appropriate. But I think that staying happy and eating whatever it is that really makes you feel good and pleasurable, chocolate, whatever the heck it is, take your Evo so you don't get sick. I can't say it'll work for anybody else on earth. But I said to my daughter yesterday, she's seen me sick like hardly ever. And I just don't get sick. And knock, knock. She said, I haven't been sick in a long time either. And the kids are all, so it's like, they're all
There
doing
you go.
Evo. My mom, 95, doing the Evo and totally outliving all of the other people that she used to have breakfast club. She had a stroke. She can't talk anymore. My mom's still reading a novel. So if you love your mom or dad
That's
and they're
incredible.
old and they need a little help, um, this is amazing. The olive oil on a spoon before noon. You won't believe the conversations you might be having in a few weeks. Yeah, everybody I know that I've given a sample to lately, boom, ordered.
You know what has become a measure of, a really great company doing really great stuff is when the three-letter agencies send out an entire list of things you cannot claim and cannot say. That to me already says, oh, they're doing something right. Like the three-letter agencies to tell you you can't claim this, you can't say that. Okay, we're not claiming anything here. We're talking these are people that coincidentally take C60 Evo every day, and they're also coincidentally at the same time experiencing these things. Now, Chris, one of the big things, and I think overall is a subject you can talk about,
Mm.
is recovery. And I think we don't really oftentimes think about how many things we recover from on a daily basis, how much toxicity is in our systems, in the air, in the water. You talked about stress, which is another form of toxicity. People that maybe overindulge in stuff or that work out hard, run marathons. Recovery has been one of those huge, 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 huge things for people that use C60 Evo, where they go, I can't believe how much faster I'm getting better, or how I'm not feeling the heaviness that I should be feeling given what I just did. What's that? What's the miracle in this molecule
So,
that
so
helps
I
with that?
think what we're ultimately talking about is improving the function of mitochondria, right? So that's getting way down to the core, right? People think in terms of, they're hopeful that that a supplement can help them systemically, right? Or they're hopeful that they can help them at a cellular level. We believe our product helps at a subcellular level, right? Every cell in your body has between 50 and 5,000 mitochondria. Actually, I'm going to roll back to your question about the potential of eyesight, right? We don't have any data. You're an anecdote. We've kind of covered that already. It turns out that your rods and cones in your eyes have a significantly higher quantity of mitochondria because they need a lot of energy to do what they're doing, right? So again, in general, your cells have between 50 and 5,000. Your brain cells and nerve cells have about 2 million. And then your rods,
Is that
every
everyone or
single
just?
one.
I'm just
It's,
sorry.
oh.
Sorry, I just met a few people where I wasn't
Not
quite
all
sure. I'm
people.
sorry about that, brother.
They need a little C60 Evo just to start to catch up. Yeah. 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 Maybe you could also call the mitochondria cylinders, because sometimes you refer to people who all cylinders aren't firing. So
Yeah, let's get them
yeah.
firing.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's good.
sorry for the
So yeah, so
interruption.
brain cells typically have 2 million mitochondria, and the rods and cones in your eyes are actually, I've kind of dug into the research. I really couldn't find a number other than scientists say, oh, it's a lot more than typical, right? So if we're improving at that subcellular level, at that mitochondrial level, then that could explain why you're seeing some benefits. And when you start thinking about recovery, right, it's these stressors that actually cause your body to work harder, right? Your mitochondria needs to produce more energy. That mitochondria produces more negative byproducts, and this ESS60 molecule helps manage those negative byproducts. And when you're working at that subcellular level, you see these improvements head to toe. We may have mentioned we've got a two-time U.S. ultra running champion who absolutely loves our product. He's won a U.S. championship at 50 miles. He's won one at 100K, which is 62 miles. And the way he describes it, I think the way that it helps is so hard for us to really comprehend, because we have this thought process of exercise, recovery, exercise, recovery. And what Anthony Kunkel shares is it's not exercise recovery. I actually believe it's preventing damage in the first place, right? Improving recovery would mean at the end of a 50-mile run, I'm wrecked, and 10 to 12 days later, I'm back to normal. And then if I take this product, it's only 7 days or even 8 days. He says, I'm just not getting wrecked. Like, he's pushing at this ultra high elite level, at this ultra long distance. And his statement is, we're at in the last 5 miles of a 50-mile run, a phrase you don't hear very often, where strength and stability were previously a problem, they're not a problem. And I will share my first conversation with him. He said, listen, I started on just one serving, didn't really notice anything. And when I tripled the serving, I was like, wow, this could be the difference between somebody having a hobby running or a career running.
That's incredible. Also, I mean, and it would make sense for somebody like him who, has that demand for energy, that tripling would, it's a wholly different demand than most people. But I will say this, while you were talking, I noticed something. So last week, I've been doing more longevity or endurance than I was doing strength for my legs lately at a gym. But last week I did a pretty intense leg day, and the same day I forgot the Evo in the morning, so I took it in the afternoon, pretty close to my workout. And considering the leg day I had, I was fully expecting heavy legs in the morning. You know, climbing up this down the stairs, kind of you feel it. And I just noticed that I didn't really feel anything. So and that's never happened after a leg day like this before. So fully confirmed. You see, as you bring this up, it kind of comes to me. Incredible. And then my favorite testimonials, by the way, are pet
Yes.
testimonials. They speak the loudest, like we've been saying. And I looked at the numbers. This is incredible. Americans spend 150 billion a year on their pets. About 12 billion of that is going to go out to prescription drugs. $12 billion prescription drugs for dogs and cats mainly. And I was wondering how that could change if people were willing to give Evo a try for their pets and just see what that could do. And it could take them off, maybe, I'm just saying, maybe it's hypothetical, off of those toxic stuff that only gets worse over time. And the investment would more than, uh, you know, pay for itself over time with the cost of the drugs. So I was just thinking, and with our dogs, that's a no-brainer for me. Their testimonials are the loudest. I've told you before, if our 14-year-old for some reason misses a day, I can tell. But with every day the dropper, his life is much, much better. He walks better. He's got joy. He's jumping, but he's dancing around more. And so it's a
We
blessing.
hear that all the time, especially older dogs. And I will never let this one go that two different people wrote in the last year. Thank you for giving me another year with my dog. We thought we were going to have to put him down. We didn't. 3 weeks of Evo, one guy, he said, he's back. And the other dog was 2 weeks. She's back. So it's been effortless for people to see in their pets, but for people to see in themselves is another story because we're all so busy being busy right now. And to not realize what it does for you is pretty human. But I think that your channel, being my favorite of all the influencers we work with, has a higher consciousness of people in general. And that incorporates being conscious of your body and your feelings and your thoughts. And I really work on mine. And I also feel like now that I've survived 2 surgeries and gone past that, where I don't even think about that. I'm back to life and I'm looking for fun things. So even though I watch the news, I know how dire it is in so many areas. Oh my God, this flooding. And to have the flood be up in the mountains 4 hours from the coast. I'm sorry, what? What? And I saw your show
Yeah,
about the weather modification, and I've been watching Dean Wigington for a decade. Um, it is a devastating reality that we're going through right now, but until all of our neighbors step up and go, "Holy shit, this is real," I vote against it. As long as people are still not getting what's going on, their kids are still going to still get sick, and we're still going to allow these people to sell vaccines and to force it. And we have known better for 10 years. We have been pronouncing freedom and consciousness, but it's only those who want it that are going to show up. And this product, in my opinion, is so breakthrough. It's so evolutionary, thus the name C60 Evo Evolution, that it's not going to resonate with people that choose not to put their body first, their feelings, their energy field first. But your audience is really amazing in that way. I've never seen so much
it
gratitude.
is. It is an incredible audience, and they surprise us regularly with the insights, with the level of consciousness, like you say, with the knowledge and also the inspiration. So we're blessed. We truly are blessed. And the thing about this time to me is, like I always say, we have to become the best possible version of ourselves. And for some reason, humans have been programmed to be willing to put the best possible fuel in their car and the best possible oil in their cars. And they kind of take care of those things, and they make sure that their houses are maintained and whatnot. So they do take care of that. But when it comes to their avatar, their body that serves them every day, there's a lot of uh very toxic stuff that goes in there. And I think we need to be worthy of our own well-being and feel worthy of our own well-being and give ourselves permission. And so for me, these are investments, right? And I think this is an investment that will allow me and my family to not deal with so many things that others deal with, which is a lot of headache, a lot of body ache, a lot of financial ache, doctor's visits, and whatnot. So for me, that's an investment and a no brainer. And once you flip that switch, your whole thinking changes, So that is incredibly important. So please let us know, where can people, and it's also a good time, we're getting closer to the holiday season, maybe thinking about some Christmas gifts, maybe give the gift of well-being this year rather than
More
you know, something you pick up somewhere meaningless, although our audience really doesn't do that. But where can people find bundles and savings?
c60evo.com/you inspired channel, and you'll get to a landing page with a variety of our products. You'll also see a link to save 10% off at checkout. But keep in mind, if you sign up for a monthly subscription, you'll save 20% off every order, and you're not obligated. If you don't love it, you can just drop us a call or an email and we'll cancel you without any questions. But most people don't. We are pretty consistent at 53% of our sales are resubscribes on a regular basis. Years. People just stay with it. That to me is the best testimonial of all. They wouldn't do it if it didn't work. Um, so we have 3 flavors of oil. And if you get, for instance, a sampler set, which is 3 items, if you get 2 or more items in any of our gift sets, you'll save 15% off each item at the checkout. So 20%. And then the 20 is for subscriptions, 15 for sets, but 25% is our biggest deal. And I've got a big heavy box over there because I like to order by the case. You get 25% off. And what a
That's
great deal, though,
significant.
to get 25% and use Inspired Channels code, and you get another 10%. And we're good with that because that means you'll have 12 opportunities to share them with family and friends. And here comes Christmas. The sampler set, in my opinion, is the coolest gift because it's all 3 flavors of oil. And we have them in 2 ounce, 4 ounce, 8 ounce. But this way you can try all 3 because you're gonna really love 1 or 2 of them, and then you can focus on getting a bigger bottle. The capsules are for people that travel and for people that don't want to put oil on a spoon and take it in about 1 second. Chase it with water if you don't love oil, but if you travel and you want to carry it with you, capsules are the ticket. We sell a lot of them because you barely taste them. And a lot of people say they like the gelatin melting. It's kind of like food and effortless oil, which helps them digest it. Could be true. But I've heard that a number of times. And then we have 2 facial serums, great for Christmas gifts.
Great for Chris
Yes.
and myself, right, Chris? That's what we
Men
love.
and women.
Get
Yeah.
that smooth skin.
There's a 2-part that's got peptides and the amazing oil combination, really effective. And this is another one that's my little favorite. It's I just fresh bottle. Oh God, I love it. If you're into aromatherapy, every time I put this on, I'm see now Chris wants to model. Heck with you, I'm modeling also because this is such a treat to smell.
I'm telling you this, and it's not creepy because I've been married for a long time. I make my wife smell me as soon as I put this on, and she loves it every single
Aw.
time.
Well, that's awesome. My best friend's husband also, their joke is smell my face.
Yeah, just don't walk up to strangers and ask them to smell you. Might not go
Strangers
over
might
well.
walk up to you and go, "You smell so good. I'm just going to follow you."
Well, that's a different story. That's a different story. But
Mm.
I just love. I mean, I'm getting back to baby skin here. It's very
It
soft. It's
really
very
has
gentle.
impressed people. And you know what's really nice? Initially, some people might look at the price and go, "Oh, I can't afford it because I need to afford these 8 supplements or these 3 drugs that make me feel really tired and horrible in the morning." Okay. So another option, like when I got done with my surgery, either one, they said, "Okay, here's a bunch of these pills and those pills and these." Okay, so I did the ones to make sure I didn't get any blood clots. I went a day taking pain pills because, oh my God, they cut me open and put a huge thing in me. But then I didn't hurt. I was like, how can it be this easy? And I got right back on the Evo. I did the olive oil because it's the strongest. I mean, effortless, effortless. And I can't say the word healing because we're not allowed, but effortless change of energy in my body to not need
An effortless positive change
positive
of
change of
energy. There you have
energy.
it.
What I'm saying is, I have saved so much on things I don't need anymore because I just take this. And I know that the ingredient,
Well, that's exactly what I meant earlier. Yeah, that's it. And it's a change in thinking. You have to change your thinking
2
around these things. Yeah.
ingredients, not all these things I can't pronounce plus gelatin, but like olive oil, extra virgin, really, really high quality, and ESS 60 that's made in our lab that is the highest quality because they've been doing it longer than anybody else. And our most recent product, which is going to be a rage for Christmas, is our C60 Evo Luscious Body Cream. Have you guys shared and talked about how this smells?
Oh yeah, the
Mhm.
tangerine. Yes, 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 yes. Delicious. It's kind of for me. For me, it has a little bit of the seasonal kind of. I don't know, a little tangerine, orangey. It's seasonal for me. It's like it reminds me of winter and
Well, do the
Christmas and the
colors
good
remind
stuff.
you of Halloween a little?
Yeah, Halloween is just not my favorite thing, but it does remind me
So,
of fall.
Chris and Robert down there in Texas in the lab doing meticulous everything and delivering products that are just effortlessly good. And I'm out here bragging about it because it's all I do. It's all everybody in my family does are these products. My facial collection of stuff that I used to try this, try that, and it's all hundreds of dollars. And then there's this, which isn't. And it's all natural. This one is 21 ingredients, but it's based chia seed oil, finished with rosemary oil, all organic, vegan, natural. And everybody says my dog likes to lick it off my hand. So not only do you smell fabulous, but your pets are going to go, dang, you taste good. So, and you don't have to worry about toxifying them like you would if you were using a leading brand at most of your favorite stores that you can't pronounce the ingredients. So, really, people, I hope you'll prioritize your health. Get rid of a bunch of things that don't work, that have words you don't understand, and simplify because this stuff works. It won a Nobel Prize, which maybe doesn't mean anything anymore. But the dog and cat formulas also, people love their pets. When your pets are healthy, you're happy. I mean, this is like one of the easiest formulas for people to go, wow, if it worked for Fido, maybe we should try it. And we hear a lot of that, that they tested on their dog that they really love because they
And it's the same ingredient. It's the same ingredient. You're putting in your dog's body what you're putting in your body. And that means something. Chris has been working with this molecule for 35 years. That means he started at age 4. No, just kidding. But it means something. 35 years dedicating your life to this, that means something. So when you're ready to give C60 Evo a try, you're going to the source here. You're going to the original here, and you're going to the highest quality here, and that means something. It really means something. Patty and Chris, I want to thank you both once again. It's always such a pleasure to have these
think
conversations, and fun and joyous. So thank you both so much. We really
Thank you,
appreciate you
John.
guys. And Inspired Tribe, hop over to c60evo.com/inspired channel. Check it all out. Enjoy the savings. We want to thank the team at C60 Evo for making this possible for our audience, and give yourself the gift of well-being and health, my friends. We love you. We appreciate you, and we will be back with you again very, very
thank
soon.
you.